とにかく、この部屋は警察が来るまでこのままにして施錠します。いいですね。
Nancy announced it as though she didn't care whether they agreed or not. If anyone had a right to object, it would have been George, but he looked as though he'd shed enough tears. Just nodded slightly, still facing away from the others. And when he stood up, everyone else agreed too. Nancy still hadn't opened the western envelope of the family hat that she'd picked up. But now that they decided to leave this room, she decided to unseal it in the parlor, where everyone would watch, or could watch. Think of which, I wonder. I didn't hear the sound when this was updated. Found on the bed of a guest room inside the mansion, with a weapon resembling an ice pick sticking out of her forehead. Found in the bathroom of the same guest room that Eva was found in. Like Eva, also a weapon resembling an ice pick sticking out of his forehead. Can't see either of them by looking through the gap of the door while the chain is set. Can't see them, so you can't reach them. Hey, how could a human possibly kill them? Like I said last time, this is exactly what Butler asked for. An incident where it would be obvious that no person of the family would be possibly behind it. As soon as they walked out into the hallway to head back to the parlor, some of them immediately felt something out of place. Or maybe sensed something strange.
答えよ。
マリアもわかるか。こりゃ何の匂いだよ。ひでえ匂いだぜ。
When everyone sniffed the air, they did notice a horrible burnt smell drifting through the hallway, one that none of them had smelled until then.
私、ちょっと厨房を見てきます。火はちゃんと消したはずなんですよ。
After noticing a burnt smell, it was natural that Kumasawa, who had just been using the burner in the kitchen, suspected that her own slip-up had caused it. Kumasawa hastily dashed away.
カノン、熊沢と行きなさい。一人にさせないように。
はい。
After nodding at Genji's order, Kanon followed after her. He wasn't running, but as he followed her, he tried to search for the cause of the smell in other directions as well.
臭い。
これは確かに鼻が曲がりそうな匂いですね。しかし換気のために窓を開けてもいいものか。
Nancy was reluctant to open the windows in a situation where self-defense was so important.
換気扇を回させましょう。窓を開ける必要はないと思います。
ジョージの兄貴、話しかけても大丈夫かよ。犯人を探す相談なら構わないよ。
It seemed that George had managed to climb out of the abyss of sorrow. All that filled his chest now was the quiet flame of hatred towards the culprit who had stolen the lives of the one he loved and his beloved parents.
部屋にはチェーンがかかってた。さっき構造を見たが、とても外から細工できる代物じゃねえ。つまり、完璧な密室だったってことだ。
そうなるね。バラ庭園の倉庫の時は、シャッターの鍵を使用人室からこっそりと持ち出したのだろうとか、あるいは、複製の鍵を持っていた可能性とか、いくつか方法が想像できた。でも、チェーンは違う。チェーンは一般に浸透した施錠方法の中で、最もシンプルに密室を構築できる。
チェーンだけは物理的に破壊しない限り外からはどうにもならないぜ。じゃあつまり犯人は扉からは出入りしなかったってことなのか。
こりゃ面白いや。つい数時間ほど前にも扉以外でどうやって部屋から出入りしたのかってみんなで騒いだ気がするぜ。
Back then, we were all losing our cool, wondering how grandfather had disappeared from his room. The receipt Aunt Eva stuck in the door on a whim proved that the door had remained sealed. Since Aunt Nassé was the one person to enter or exit during that time, she was under suspicion. Aunt Eva proposed a theory about how Aunt Nassé might have thrown grandfather out the window and left it by the door herself. But this door is much simpler. It was sealed from the inside by the door chain. The window had also been locked from the inside, and the bodies had been inside the room. This time it really had been, without exaggeration, a true closed room. That's right. If you include grandfather's disappearance, 3 cases have occurred, and all 3 times the door had been a point of interest. The first was the shitter. There was a key in the servant room, and if we assume someone knew about that, this can't really be called a closed room. The next door was the door sealed by the receipt. However, Aunt Nassé entered that room, so if grandfather had left through the window or been thrown out, he wouldn't been able to lock the window before escaping. Or, like my theory, grandfather could have hidden until the receipt was gone and left the room later. Basically, this door can be defeated with a handful of desperate tricks. In that sense, you really can't call this one a closed room either. And now, we have the door sealed with the door chain. Finally, we have to give up. The window, the door, everything had been locked. It was a perfect closed room. First, it hadn't been a closed room because everyone could be suspected. The second hadn't been a closed room because Aunt Nassé could be suspected. But this time, no one can be suspected. This was a perfect closed room because the door chain formed a seal which blocked everyone equally well.
なら、犯人は室内に入らずに犯行に及んだ。
And true enough, they're discussing it here in front of the epitaph.
部屋の外から何らかの方法で。
チェーンである以上、人が通れるほどは開けなくても多少の隙間を空けることができる。ノックして顔を覗かせたところを襲うとか。いや、甘いか。
甘いよな。エヴァおばさんの遺体が扉のすぐそばだったなら、それも考えたぜ。だが、エヴァおばさんは部屋の奥のベッドの上。しかも、秀吉おじさんはバスルームだった。チェーンの隙間からでは、姿を見ることもできねえし、手を伸ばすこともできねえ。ちくしょう。全然ダメだぜ。さっぱりだ。
Something was tugging softly at my sleeve. It was Maria. Oh, and we're here, like I said, in front of the epitaph.
Oh.
満足って何がだよ。
Well, Butler wished for this.
バトラは親族の誰かを疑うのが嫌だから、犯人はベアトリーチェであってほしいと願ったよ。だからベアトリーチェは叶えた。バトラが言った通り、絶対に人間には無理なことをして、バトラに魔女の存在を信じさせてくれた。なのにわがまま。
Oh, that was satisfying. I tapped Maria, who was laughing unpleasantly, on the head with my fist.
ああ、叶えてくれてありがとうよ。今のはその礼と、不謹慎な時に笑ったことへの教育的指導だ。それより教えやがれ。エヴァおばさんたちの部屋の扉にも、また怪しげな落書きがされていた。あれもまた魔法陣なのか。
あれは特に覚えやすい特徴的な形なんだから、あのくらい知っててほしいね。
知らねえから花を持たせてやってんだ。ごちゃごちゃ言わねえで解説しろい。
バトラは暴力的だね。あんまり意地悪すると教えないよ。言うよこのげんこつ男。あれは月の1の魔法陣だよ。
何の意味がある？その魔法陣のご利益は？書かれてるヘブライ語の意味は？
記されているのは旧約聖書詩編第107編の16節。主は聖堂の扉を破り、鉄の栓抜きを打ち破ってくださいました。魔法陣の効用は2つ。1つはいかなる方法によって閉ざされた扉でも開くことができる。
Well, that's just cheating.
そりゃ便利な魔法だぜ。つまり魔法の力に頼らなきゃ開けぬ密室の扉っていう魔女様のアピールってわけか。もう一つの効用は、
開かぬ扉を八方塞がりの事態に見立て扉を開く。難解な事態の時に用いることで、それまで思いつきもしなかった解決策を与えてくれるんだよ。平たく言うと、観察力や洞察力、ひらめきや直感を授けてくれるんだね。ベアトリーチェはバトラごとき人間風情に この扉の開き方がわかるものかって挑発してるんだよ。
よーし、もう黙れご苦労。上等だぜ。その魔女の挑戦、受けてやら。
マリアちゃん、この世に魔女も悪魔も存在しない。父さんと母さんは誰かが殺した。それが僕のよく知る人間なのか知らない人間なのかはわからない。でもそのどちらであっても必ず人間なんだ。
しかしどうやって。せいぜい10センチ程度しか開かない扉の隙間からどうやったら室内の2人を。
それにしても耐え難い匂いです。一体何事なのですか。
Kanon and Kumasawa, who had gone on ahead, realized the smell wasn't coming from the kitchen, even before they arrived there. It was because they noticed an even thicker wave of stench, rising up from the stairs leading to the basement, which they passed on the way to the kitchen.
ボイラー室。
またボイラーの調子が悪いんでしょうか。
No stairs led to the underground boiler room. Oh, great. The mansion's boiler was old and in poor condition. Both of them had witnessed problems with the boiler on several occasions, but they had never smelled the boiler belching out a stench like this before. I mean, in this game, ordinary hotel rooms are scary enough. I don't want to go to a basement. So before we enter, since the grandfather is missing, maybe he's been disposed of in the basement.
今の音は。
The thing they heard from the basement was definitely the sound of a door closing. Kumasawa had phrased it as a question, but she already knew it couldn't be anything else. Kumasawa was so surprised at that sound that her knees gave away yet again, and she cowered. After all, at that very moment, no one could have been in the boiler room. So at this point, Beatrice is really trying her best to convince everyone at roughly the same time that the things that happened are not caused by the family members. Just a few seconds ago, everyone had been crowded together around Eva and Hideyoshi's room. So, who caused the sound of a door closing just now? Or maybe it is Kinzo?
Kanon-san!
After taking a second to sort out the situation, Kanon ran down towards the basement. Since they'd heard the sound of a door closing just now, and there was no sound of anyone coming up the stairs. The person who had closed the door had to be inside the boiler room now. If the boiler room had been at that end, Kanon wouldn't have rushed in so hastily. But Kanon was a servant, so he knew. There were two entrances to the boiler room, one that opened to the mansion, and one that opened to the courtyard. If he didn't chase them now, they might slip away. Kumasawa reached the same conclusion long after Kanon did, but she couldn't let him go all alone. If the thing in the boiler room was the culprit, an opponent who had easily knocked 6 adults out in the first murder, or killed I should say, then no matter how Kanon confronted them, it wouldn't be a match. Of course, with this argument. Even if Kumasava joined them, it wouldn't change anything. At any rate, after a delay, Kumasava decided that she mustn't let Kanon go alone, and she rushed down the stairs. At that time, Kanon was already in the boiler room. Speaking of rooms, this PC room is cold as hell for some reason. I left the door open, but still. The boiler's room characteristic damp heat tormented him. It had always been an unpleasantly smelly and hot place. And on top of that, the room was full of that horrible stench, which made Kanon feel like he was going to be sick. There was no doubt that this room was the source. In that case, Kanon shouldn't be searching for where the sound was coming from. However, Kanon kept gazing straight forward as he grabbed the hatchet from a tool shelf just off the side of the door. He hadn't stretched out his hand because he wanted the hatchet. He had wanted to grab a weapon, any weapon. Why? Kanon gazed into the darkness, but the naked light bulb couldn't pierce. Then he answered.
ルーレットは数字と赤黒にかけて配当を競い合う。だが赤か黒かのようなリスクの低い賭けはその程度の配当しか与えられない。
The words coming from Kanon's mouth was followed up by the darkness. The darkness suddenly started to swirl, glittering. It was such a fantastical scene. Golden sparkling butterflies that hid in the shadows all over the boiler room. Flapped their wings, twinkling beautifully, and gathered in the darkness, disappearing. Kanon continued speaking, directing his words at the darkness as it swallowed the butterflies up. But as the butterflies gathered in the darkness, they, perhaps, probably, no, they would certainly laugh. But Kanon continued to speak without faltering in the slightest.
「逆により的中率の低いかけ方をすればそのリスクに比例した配当が与えられる。親方様は天文学的なリスクを的中できることを奇跡と呼び、その結果得られる天文学的な配当を魔法と呼んでいた。親方様とお前がどんな魔法を求めてルーレットに挑んでいるのか、そんなことには興味ない。しかしお前は忘れている。ルーレットには赤でも黒でもない目が出うることを忘れている。
Roulette had a special pocket called Zero, which meant that the house takes everything in certain variants of the game. It means that all of the coins bet on the table will be swept up, just as though everyone had to forfeit.
僕は一つだけ心に決めていた。もしシャノンが殺されて僕が生き残るようなことがあったなら、この身を投げ出してお前のルーレットを全て台無しにしてやろうと。これは親方様が決めたルールでも、ましてやお前が決めたルールでもない。このルールは僕が作った。僕はもう家具じゃない。
What that intense expression on his face.
お前のルーレットのゼロなんだ。
Cannon's face twisted with humiliation. It was clear that his defiance against his own weaknesses was being ridiculed somehow. Cannon's brow creased even further, and a fierce expression that he'd never shown to anyone appeared on his face. The hand grasping the hatchet was shaking. The sweat became drops, which slid downward. It was clear that the emotion causing Cannon's hand to shake wasn't just anger. However, Cannon suppressed that emotion.
僕はもうお前の言葉に惑わされたりはしない。悪魔のルーレットはこれでおしまいだ。地獄にてさらに1000年、次の召喚者を待つがいい。ベアドリーチェー。
Cannon raised the hatchet and tried to dive into the darkness. The darkness definitely sneered. It sneered at that courage, as if it were vulgar, lazy, futile, and meaningless. Cannon, his hatchet still held aloft, couldn't take another step after that. With a clang, the hatchet that he'd been grasping fell and rolled on the floor. And following that, with a pair of thuds. Maybe if it's a pair of thuds, maybe his that's both hands cut off, maybe? Cannon's knees hit left or right. Never mind, I think he's dead. But the hand, which looked like it was trying to catch the sky now that the hatchet had been dropped, gradually lowered, landing on his chest. Then the other hand did the same. Right there, a handle with a demon-shaped design was buried into his chest. The same type of weapon that had been stabbed into Eva and Hideyoshi's foreheads was in Cannon's chest. Okay, I guess those murders were magic after all. Conan was curled up in anguish, fresh blood dripping from the corner of his mouth. What was the thing on the third twilight that everyone should be praising her name? Or something? Something along the lines of that? It was makeup to an extreme for Canon's white skin. Around this scene, the glittering gold butterflies dance through the darkness, mesmerizing. It was beautiful, a beautiful dance, a funeral march of tribute, ridicule, and contempt for a single boy's self-sacrifice. Conan had already been prepared for his own death, but although he could do nothing but accept the death he had received, he attempted one more measure of resistance. He grasped the handle of the weapon sticking into his chest with both hands and gritted his teeth with an acute, unearthly pain. He pulled it out. For only a moment, a bright red spray gushed out. It made an unpleasant bloop sound. It probably resembled the sound of Conan's soul as it was sucked into the swamp of the dead.
Canon-san? Dareka!
Kumasawa screamed at the incomprehensible sight in front of her. Conan was lying in a pool of blood. Kumasawa's heart was a complete mess. Ah, what a horrible fate. He wouldn't have been killed if I had been with him. Ah, what incredible luck. If I had been with him, I might have been killed too. As she screamed, her expression was filled with complete confusion. None of the muscle of her face were pulled up, almost as though she was smiling while crying. But no one could have made fun of an expression like this.
何事ですか、熊様。返事をしなさい、熊様。
The first one to dash in was Natsuhi, holding the rifle. Butler and Genji dashed in after her. Normally, they probably would have started discussing the origin of that violent stench filling the boiler room. But after they saw Kanon, who was lying on the ground, as if he were drowning in an ocean of his own blood, the stench wasn't important anymore.
Kano! 返事をしなさい。源氏、南條先生をここに。
Natsuhi realized that even though Kanon was on the verge of death, he was still conscious, so she sent Genji to get the doctor. Natsuhi, holding the rifle aloft, faced the darkness in the center of the boiler room and shouted,
そこに隠れているものは何者です。おとなしく出てきなさい。そちらから出てこないなら容赦なく撃ちます。
ライトだ。おばさん、照らすぜ。
Butler, thinking quickly, took a large flashlight from the tool shelf alongside the door and used his light to cut through the darkness Natsuhi was glaring into. but the light only shone on mechanical-looking barbing and the door. The door had been left open, a small crack, and it was obvious that someone had left through there in a hurry.
夏日おばさん、あの扉はどこへ？
源氏、あの扉はどこに通じているのですか？
中庭です。
逃がすかよ、くそこの野郎
Butler let out a war cry as he slammed into the door. Cool air from outside suddenly rushed in. There was some thin, rough stairs leading up. Butler ran up them, shouting,
待ちなさい、バトラ君。一人では危険です。
Nazi was also rushing up the stairs, chasing after Butler. They were in the courtyard. The courtyard of the mansion had been built strictly for lightning purposes, so it wasn't a very elegant place. Because it was surrounded on all sides, the air was calm and completely undisturbed, even though they could hear the sound of strong winds. There was only the gentle, sorrowful rain. She ran through the cold and scattered raindrops, dashing up the stairs into the courtyard. Butler looked in every direction. Of course, tales of him finding a suspicious silhouette just standing around nonchalantly were pretty much zero. Butler spun, looking all around. He turned again and again. He kept spinning until he almost lost his sense of direction. He prayed that he would see the culprit somewhere in the scenery, but there was no chance. Only so, as he spun, was more and more of the mansion's heartless walls and windows. Furthermore, there were 2 entrances into the mansion from the courtyard, and neither of them were locked. Because the courtyard couldn't be entered from outside the mansion, the doors had been built without locks. He didn't know which one they had left through. He had to give up. Butler pounded the wall with his fist, swearing,
バトラ君、一人で先走ってはダメです。バトラ君。
Butler pressed his forehead against the wall. He scratched at with his fingernails as he cried.
畜生畜生畜生エヴァおばさんに秀吉おじさん、さらにカノン君かよ。6人も殺しやがった。飽き足らずさらに3人も殺しやがった。ふざけるなふざけるな。エヴァおばさんも秀吉おじさんも昔からいつも優しくしてくれる愉快なおばさんたちだったじゃねえかよ。カノン君とは昨日会ったばかりだが、きっとこれから仲良くなれたと思うぜ。
I just love how Kanon chose to defy everything for the sake of Shannon, for the sake of his sister. Even though not technically blood related, but you know what I mean.
なんで殺したんだ。どうして ってのはな、殺しちまったらな、二度と生き返らねえんだぞ。タケノコみてえにひょいひょい生えてきちゃ来ねえんだぞ。どうして殺すんだよ。どうしてどうして。
Butler was a boy who could understand the feelings of pain and regret in a person's heart. He cried with all his strength. Nasi, who had always thought of Butler as a frank person, was a little surprised to find he had this delicate side. And at the same time, she understood how easily hurt the heart of a young person could be, so she held him.
大丈夫です。あなたもジョージ君もマリアちゃんもジェシカも私が絶対に守ります。母として、そして後宮家の代表として。
Butler, after sobbing into Nasi's chest for a while, wiped his tears with a bitter smile, as though he had been like that the whole time, and tried to appear as though he'd cried more than enough already.
とにかく一度下に戻りましょう。犯人を探すより自分たちの身を守る方が最優先です。明日になれば船が来る。そうすれば警察がやってきて全てを白日のもとにさらし出してくれるでしょう。犯人がどうあがこうともこの島から逃げられるものですか。
そうっすね。警察さえ来れば。
When the seagulls cry, the crime will be solved. But for some reason, Butler felt a slight sense of uneasiness, as if the seagulls would never cry again. That couldn't be true. When the typhoon passes, surely the lively seagulls will return to the harbor again. I returned to the boiler room, along with Aunt Nasehi, and told everyone weekly that we hadn't found anything. I heard that Dr. Nanjo and Joyce Aniki had carried the Kanakun to the servant room. The servant room had a first aid kit and a sink, and could apparently function at the nurse's office. Kumasawa-san and Jessica had accompanied them. Stains from Kanakan's blood remained on the floor, judging by the large amount of blood lost, and the brutal shape of the weapon that had fallen carelessly to the ground. I figured that Dr. Nanjo's treatment would probably end in vain. The weapon was doubtlessly the same type that had been stuck in Aunt Eva's and Uncle Hideyoshi's foreheads. But wait, isn't the demonic design on the handle a little different? There seemed to be some small differences in that part. Still, as far as the overall shape was concerned, weapons were all of the same type. Though it had seemed brutal, We'd left the weapon stuck in Aunt Eva and Uncle Yoshi to preserve the crime scene, but this was the first time we were able to have the perfect view of the entire weapon. As we had expected, the weapon was not bladed like a knife, but shaped like an ice pick, or rather, at a stake, and it had a spiral-shaped pattern, sort of like a drill. It looked like something that might be driven into the hearts of human sacrifices in some demonic ritual. Including the handle, it was 25 centimeters long. Half of that was the stake-shaped part, which was stained with deep red blood. The length of the blood-stained part made it clear just how deeply it must have penetrated into Kannakun's chest. But Nasi and the rest didn't even look at the weapon, and instead stood in front of the incinerator, where the horrible stench was emanating from. They must have dragged out that thing which had been burning in the furnace. It was still smoldering and kept sending out dense waves of that awfully unpleasant smell. Is it Kenzo? Shin-san and Maria stared down at it. Aunt Nasi probably couldn't stand to look directly at it. She kept shaking her head back to it. I thought nothing could surprise me after everything that happened, but this is... I stood there for a while moaning, with a rising urge to vomit, the true source of that unearthly stench. Was a scorched corpse that had been cooking inside the incinerator. The clothes, the surface of the body, and the hair were all hideously burned. That grotesque corpse was in a state where not the face, not the age, not even the gender could be guessed at. But when I thought about it calmly, I realized that a corpse appearing at this time could only be one person. It was grandfather, who had disappeared that morning, and whose whereabouts had been unknown.
おそらく親方様だと思います。
I didn't know what to expect. But I did not expect people to die so fast, so quickly. I mean, if you look at the epitaph stuff, and I'll go over this in a bit, I see that this has not been updated yet. Same with this. But I thought, when I was reading this, that on the first Twilight 6 people would die, and on the second, the 2 who were close would die, which meant the rest of them would be alive to praise the noble name. But I expected only the 2 of them to die and not Kinso and Kanon.
私も同感です。このようなお姿でお亡くなりになるとは、おいたわしや。
でもこの死体本当にじいさまだって保証はあるんすか？こうも黒焦げじゃ性別さえも想像つかないってのに。
バトラ君、足をご覧なさい。
Aunt Nasi, with her handkerchief over her mouth and her eyes averted, pointed and told me to look at the burnt corpse's feet.
両足の指が6本あるのがお分かりになりませんか？
Just as Genji-san had said, there are 6 toes on each foot. Each individual toe, it looks so normal in its line that I hadn't noticed.
親方様はお生まれの時から両足の指がそれぞれ6本でした。
Well, I guess this means that the grandfather, Genzo, didn't manage to survive to the point where he could see Beatrice smile.
そして故に親方様は後ろ宮家の再興を託されたのです。
後宮家には昔から生まれつき多子症の方が多かったそうです。多分遺伝的なものでしょ
う。Polydactyly literally means many fingers. Because of a little mistake by God when a person is born, one of their toes or fingers splits into 2, and the total number increases. But a big deal isn't usually made of polydactyly in the world at large. That's because it isn't a disease. It's just something people are born with. So, while they are still babies, about the time they turn 1 year old, they can be taken to the hospital and given surgery to make them normal. Even a child with polydactyly can be treated before they become aware. They might not even remember it themselves. By the way, it seems that there's a possibility for this to occur in 1 out of every 2,000 babies. So even though it's not usually seen, it's not that rare at all. Speaking of which, I think Hideyoshi mentioned something to me long ago. Something about how even Toyotomi Hideyoshi, the man who unified Japan at the end of the Sengoku period, had 6 fingers on one hand. According to Ondatsuhi, among the many Ishinomiya family heads, the ones most praised for their wisdom all had polydactyly. Because of that, when grandfather was born, his relatives were all excited at the thought that he might become another wise leader. And when the leading relatives all died in the Great Kanto earthquake, it was apparently argued that grandfather should be the one to restore the family because of the auspicious sign of his birth. If grandfather hadn't disliked his position at the head so much, the 6th toe probably would have been pretty lucky for him. Come to think of it, I've heard about some country where it's believed people with polydactyly should be treated as gods and revered. This is beside the point, but it's fairly common in mystery novels, where a corpse will be burned to hide its identity. But I guess, as in grandfather's case, just toasting him wouldn't be enough. And grandfather's body was not simply burned. This hasn't updated because officially Canon hasn't died yet. Once again, a weapon resembling an ice pick sticking out of his forehead, but burned in an incinerator. Neil's sorcerer's wish vanished before it could be granted. Yeah, just like I said. He wasn't able to witness Beatrice's smile. He always knew that this was one possible result of his risky gamble. So he has an ice pick sticking out of his forehead. Eva and Hideyoshi as well. But his Krause's forehead is also partly obscured. I don't like the phrase that everyone will be revived in the Golden Land. Also this phrase, I'll get a 0 again, so I don't feel lonely. That sounds almost like Maria's perspective, which is concerning, to say the least. But I was checking everyone to see all their foreheads were covered. I'm not really sure about Shannon, but seems the rest of them all have their foreheads covered, and maybe their faces were smashed in to hide that fact. It was just like Aunt Eva and Uncle Hideyoshi, and the thing that had been stabbed into Kanokun's chest. One of those demon's ice picks was stuck into his forehead.
指に当主の指輪がありません。
昨夜の手紙の通りということですか。お父様、さぞやご無念でしょう。
As his son let her head droop and closed her eyes tightly. This room had also become a vital crime scene for us, and over to the police. Also, I believe that we haven't read the most recent letter yet. It was decided that we would leave grandfather's corpse here and lock the room, sealing it. It isn't clear when grandfather's corpse started burning in the incinerator, since, according to Genji, the strength of the flames hadn't been that strong. The body must have started burning a long time ago. So the stench could slowly creep out of the furnace and fill the room bit by bit, eventually pouring out and climbing up the staircase. Putting aside whether he was fair or well done. That's so creepy. That sounds so unreal. Grandfather had been brought out, killed and burned. Even though he had started out locked away in a closed room, created by his auto lock. There's probably no doubting this. However, according to Genji-san, the boiler room is usually locked. The possibility that someone outside the group had snuck in and committed a crime was overwhelmingly high, and there was also a good chance that this person was walking around with something like a master key, or that person can just make those magic runes or magic circles and get in and bypass any lock. After all, the doors and windows throughout the mansion had been checked. But despite that, the culprit was able to strut around the mansion freely. Does this crime confirm that the 90th person exists? There's still that contradiction, since they're trying to doubt their existence without ever showing themselves once. Along with Kiryu-san's just boy theory, I've been using this contradiction to deny the existence of a 90th person. By spinning the chess point around once more. The very fact that this crime makes it perfectly obvious that a 90th person exists means that the existence of a 90th person is even less plausible. As long as that 90th person doesn't show themselves in front of us. If the culprit could get grandfather out through the door sealed by the receipt. If they could kill Aunt Eva and Uncle Hideyoshi from the other side of a door sealed by a chain. Then could they possibly go so far as to create a fictional 90th person through strange tricks and devices? If If we still want to believe that the culprit is among the 18, then the list of suspects has grown very short. 4 of his kids are Natsuhi, Kenji-san, Kumasawa Bachan, and Dr. Nenjo. One of these people has to be the culprit. Wait, we can't be sure of that. Just a second ago, we started doubting whether the corpse here was actually grandfather's, right? Maybe we can think of the other bodies in the same way. For example, the first 6 all had their faces horribly smashed. Some of the bodies had kept enough of their faces for us to confirm who they were. But that old bastard, for example, had lost his entire face. I thought the whole thing had been neatly peeled off. We only figured out which body was which by their clothes and surroundings. Did the culprit prepare a fake body beforehand and alter it to make it look like they died, even though they were actually hiding somewhere after committing the crime? It may sound ridiculous, but it would have been an impossible trick to pull off. It's too early to give in to this 19th person. No, this witch.
マリアちゃん、それ以上しげしげと見てはなりません。さあ、バトラ君もカノンの容体も気になりますし、いつまでもこのようなところにはいられません。
It's insane to think that Natsuhi is the only parent left.
戻りましょう。
おー。
Maria didn't go out with everyone else, but remained in the boiler room. The thing she was staring at so fixedly probably wasn't grandfather's body, but the demon's ice pick sticking out from his forehead. It was probably the sort of item that an enthusiast couldn't bear to ignore. I tapped her on the head.
おい、マリア。ベアトリーチェの目的は何なんだ？俺たち全員の命か？
Ah, here we go again.
ベアトリーチェはもうすぐ蘇るんだよ。その時、誰も生き残れはしない。
よくも笑えるもんだぜ。自分だけ蚊帳の外だと思ってるのか？どうして自分の身に危機が迫っていると感じない？どうして怯えない？
ベアトリーチェは約束してくれたもん。マリアは黄金鏡へ連れて行ってもらえるんだよ。そこはね、しがらみも何もない全ての人たちがずっと一緒にいつまでも優しくし合っていける素敵な場所なんだよ。マリアは楽しみだよ。その時はもうすぐだもん。
Just what kind of person is Maria? I only know what Maria was like 6 years ago. When she was 3, she was once pure and obedient. A good kid. This new Maria 6 years later, and the Maria I knew, didn't seem to fit together. Just... who is she? This a witch who calls herself Maria? The Maria who obstinately believes in the witch. This series of unsolvable crimes is proof that the witch actually exists. Every time something occurs that would be difficult for a human, it becomes a little harder for the rest of us to not believe in Beatrice. It must be an intense pleasure for Maria to see her relatives, once firmly denied the witch's existence, start acknowledging that witch's existence one by one. Is that why she's in high spirits?
Maria. もう一遍だけ聞く。どうせ答えは同じだろうが、もう一遍だけ聞く。お前は昨日、マラ庭園で手紙をもらった。そいつは誰なんだ？
だからベアトリーチェ。バトラがまだ信じない。
But by that logic, how can Beatrice give you a letter if she isn't revived yet? Also, I've probably mentioned this before, but because of my cold, my throat isn't healed all the way yet, so it's getting really dry really fast. Marie only repeated what she had already said. Maria met with the 19th person, the witch. Was that really a 19th person? Or did one of the 18 just get her to say that? All that's certain is that Maria had been the rest of us constantly, has always had an alibi, and hasn't done anything suspicious. Is simply overjoyed at being made Beatrice's messenger. And certainly isn't the 19th person. Supposedly. That's right. I wonder what's written in the letter we picked up in Aunt Eva and Uncle Yoshi's room. Aunt Nazi should still have it with her.